Hi guys, so I've been saying for years that the majority of people who voted for Brexit did so to keep foreigners out. And of course, one person does not represent a voting bloc or a nation. But if you ask enough questions, if you scratch the surface, the arguments about laws, money, and trade deals fall away, and you're left with the real reason most people voted for Brexit. In a perfect example of how Brexit and its cheerleaders like Farage, Johnson, Patel, and others have poisoned the minds of the British people, we have this email sent in to BBC Breakfast by a man called James.
And here's James. How about reading an email from those of us who are unhappy about more immigration? We voted Brexit to keep it down. Since then, we've had Hong Kong, Afghanistan, and now Ukraine. They won't be returning. Why would they? We'll be joined by the men later and resettled here in the homes we were building for those already here.
Now, I don't know if this is a joke email or if it's serious, but I imagine it is serious. We have to take it seriously. James quoted Afghanistan, Syria, I think, Hong Kong, and of course Ukraine here. But none of these countries are actually members of the European Union. So James, and once again I come back to this point of, people didn't know what they were voting for. If somebody tells you, I voted to leave the European Union in order to stop people from Hong Kong or Syria or Ukraine coming into the country, then that makes no sense, because these countries are not members of the European Union. But we're not allowed to tell people you didn't know what you were voting for. It's completely nonsensical. I voted to leave the European Union in order to stop people from Ukraine coming here. And of course, when I'm talking about poisoning minds, I have to add here Sir Edward Lee. Sir Edward Lee either deliberately or unintentionally confusing refugees and immigrants when he stood up in the House of Commons and said, Lincolnshire, my constituency, has taken in enough. We've taken in our fair share of Eastern European immigrants. But we're not talking about immigrants here, we're talking about refugees. And as I said, you have people like Farage and others who will Farage deliberately confusing refugees and immigrants and talking about how we need to leave the European Union to stop Syrians from coming in, which is completely nonsensical. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you thought about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.